Good evening, guys. You're here with Maths with Mr.Sa again. Hope you guys are doing fine. Now, by looking at the background of this video or the title, we'll be learning a little bit about prime factorization. And in this video, we'll be learning on how to prime factorize using factor tree method. Now, factor tree method is usually used in grade 5 and grade 6, but of course when we go to higher levels we'll be using long division method. But of course in this video we'll be doing factor tree method. So what we want to have as a final outcome is we want the final answer to be the product of prime numbers. Okay, guys, and what do we mean by prime numbers? Prime numbers means numbers that can be only divided by 1 and the number itself. Therefore, prime numbers have two factors. Okay, guys, so let us write down the first 5 prime numbers. So let's say the first 5 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. If you take a look at this, all of these numbers have exactly 2 factors. Okay, guys, so looking at the question, what we'll be doing is, or what we want to do is, we want to find 2 numbers that would multiply and give us 120. It can be any 2 numbers, but 2 numbers that multiply and give 120. Okay, guys, now you'd see 120 here because what I'll be doing is I'll be using different numbers to show to you guys that whatever numbers you use at the beginning, the final outcome answer will always be the same. So let's say, for example, I want to use 12 multiplied by 10. Okay, guys, 12 multiplied by 10 gives us 120. Now what we want to do is we want to keep on pulling down the branches or the numbers until all the numbers are prime numbers. So what we'll be doing is whenever we see prime numbers, we are going to put a circle on them and we will not be touching them. Okay, guys, now if we take a look at this, 12 and 10, both of the numbers are not prime numbers. That means we can do more. That means there are other numbers that could multiply and give us this number. For example, 10, we know that 5 multiplied by 2 gives us 10. Okay, guys, now again, whenever you see any prime numbers, we are going to circle it. We know 2 is a prime number and we know 5 is a prime number. So once we find the prime numbers, we circle it, and once we circle it, we don't touch them anymore. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to the next number, 12 here, following the same steps. So what we want to do, 2 numbers that would multiply and give us 12. Okay, guys, so it can either be 4 multiplied by 3, it can be 6 multiplied by 2, but it cannot be 12 multiplied by 1 because that would give us the same answer. What we want is 2 different numbers which is not 1. All right, guys, so let us say we can either use 6 times 2 or we can use 4 times 3. So let us say I use 4 multiplied by 3. Okay, guys, 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, and we see a prime number here which is 3, and we are going to circle it and we're not going to touch it anymore. Okay, guys, and now we see we still have one more number which is still not circled, so we put a branch down and we find 2 numbers that will multiply and give us 4, and we know the answer is 2 multiplied by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 gives us 4. Yes, guys, and again we see prime numbers, we circle them. And now if you take a look at this, all of the numbers have been got down and all of them have been circled. That means we cannot go any forward, and now we can write the final answer. We know that all of the numbers are prime and we are going to write it as product of 5 numbers. So we are going to write it, let's go from bottom to top. So we have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 2. So what do we have? We have product of prime numbers. Okay, guys, we have finished it. Now we see that there are 3 2's here. We got 1, we have 2, we have 3. So what we can write this as is, we can also write this as 2 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. We can, so what we wrote here, we wrote 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 because 2 is being multiplied by itself 3 times. Okay, guys. Now, what I will be doing here is, I'll be showing the same question to you, but instead of using 12 multiplied by 10, I am going to be using some other number. You can use any number, guys. You can use 60 times 2. You can use 40 times 3, right? You can use any two numbers that multiplies and gives you 120. So for this question, what I will be doing is I'm going to change it. Let's say I'm going to use 60 or 40 times 3. So we have 40 times 3. Again, whenever we see a prime number, we are going to circle it. Okay, and we're not going to touch that number anymore. Now we see that 40, we can break it down again. Again, you can use any two numbers you want. You can use 10 times 4, you can use 8 times 5, you can use 20 times 2. It's totally up to you. So let us say I'm going to use 20 multiplied by 2. And again, we see that 2 is a prime number. I'm going to circle it. And 20 can be done more. 20 can be broken down to 10 multiplied by 2. Yes, guys, and we see 2. We circle them again. And we see 10 can be done more because we know that 5 times 2 is 10. So we write 5 times 2. And both of them are prime numbers and we are going to circle them. Right, guys? And what do we have here? Let's go again from bottom to top. We have 5 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And again, if you take a look at this, 2 is being multiplied by itself 3 times. So we can also write it as 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 3. Guys, let me draw a line here so you don't get confused. There we go. So whichever way you use it, the final answer would always be the same. Alright, guys. Now let's do one more question, or maybe two more questions. Okay, let's do 125. So what do we have? Step number 1, we got to find two numbers that would multiply and give us 125. Since the number is ending with 5, we straight away know 5 can be multiplied by it, and we know that 5 times 25 gives us 125. So again, whenever we see prime numbers, we circle it, and you would have figured it out that 5 is a prime number, and we are going to circle it. Now 25 can be done more, so we know that 5 times 5 gives us 25. Again, whenever we see prime numbers, we circle them and we take a look at the question. It cannot be done anymore, so the final answer is 5 times 5 times 5, or it can also be written as 5 to the power of 3. Okay, guys, because 5 is multiplied by itself 3 times, we can also write it as 5 to the power of 3. Okay, guys, this will be the last question for today. 90, any two numbers that gives us 90, let us do 10 multiplied by 9. And we see that none of these numbers are prime numbers, so we keep going forward. We break down 9. We know that 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. And 3 is a prime number, so we are going to go ahead and circle them. And we are going to move along to 10 now. We know that what two numbers gives us 10. We know that 5 times 2 give us 10. And we know that 2 is a prime number and 5 is a prime number. So we are going to go ahead and circle them. And we write the final answer as a product of prime numbers. So we have 5 times 2 times 3 times 3. We see that we have 2 3s, 2 3 here. So we are going to write it as 5 times 2 times 3 to the power of 2. There we go. It is as easy as it is, guys. Again, I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And of course, if you have any question, please comment below. And until next time, hope you all have an amazing day.